Top of the hour, 10 o'clock a.m. on a Sunday, beautiful Sunday, August 6th, 2017. Hello, I'm Jason Reese, and welcome to Good Morning Batavia, live from the city of Batavia, New York. News, weather, sports, live traffic, plus great entertainment. It's all about Good Morning Batavia. You gotta be kidding me. Anyways, in a few seconds, let's see if I did this correctly. Wow. You got. Anyways, here I am for season 4 of Good Morning Batavia. I am your host, Jason Reese, and here we go. Season 4 of Good Morning Batavia starts right now. Ooh. Hey, good morning, Batavia. How you doing? Jason Reese here. Last time I seen you was February 5th, 2017, when Super Bowl 51 took place. Atlanta were up 28-3 at halftime and ended up losing the game to the New England Patriots. And that's what's happening here. Anyways, welcome back to another season, another weekly blog with myself, Jason Reese, taking you all the way up to the Super Bowl 52, I believe it is this year. Who's going to make it? It's going to be really interesting to see. I have to do something, and I'll be right back, and then we'll start with Good Morning Batavia. So what we'll do is this. Oh boy. That should be there actually. I don't want that. Because I got the wrong time. Oh, well. So let's talk about what's been happening since February. A little news to pass along. President Trump is office. We all know that. He was elected in January. Let's try something here. March Madness. There we go. I'll get a little on this side here. There we go. That's a little better. Anyways, since February, Tom Bishop passed away. He was a tenant in a room over, next door over. Another friend of mine named Donnie Wilcox passed away. He was an employee at Settler's Family Restaurant. So those were two big stories in the world I come from. Another story is I'm still employed at the Salvation Army in Batavia, New York. I've been there 3 years. Been there 3 years, and it's a tough job. It's not a hard job. It's tough because you have to be responsible and you have to be dependable. And I'm getting older, and I'm not as strong as I once was, and it's starting to take a toll on me. So we're going to work on that. See what's going to happen next. I need a new chair, so I'll get one this week. Also, what's going to take place, what's been happening with me, is I've been doing pretty good. I've been keeping my blood sugar low. It's registering at 114 now. I'm trying to drop it below 100, so I still have a ways to go. When I first started, my very first test was 119, so we're doing pretty well right now. Also, sports-wise, the Buffalo Bills have a new head coach. Scott McDermott, I believe it is. I'm not sure what his name is, but he's a young coach. And the reports are saying that he's brought a whole new atmosphere to One Bills Drive. They need it because if they plan on doing anything, they have to really reinvent themselves, as they say. They have to get past the Jim Kelly era, all that other stuff, and they have to think of what's going on now. They have Tyrod Taylor as quarterback. What is his name? McCoy as running back. Sammy Watkins. So what's his name? Williams on the offensive line, defensive line. I can't think of his name, but Kyle Williams. So they have a good setup team. It's just putting it all together and making it work. As for myself, like I said, I've been staying healthy, and I've been doing a lot of editing and videotaping and working on the Jan Dirks project titled The Jan Dirks Years. Should be a DVD out real soon in September. That's the goal of the whole thing. So hopefully in September on one of these shows, Good Morning Batavia, I'll be able to make my debut. So we also have a new toy here. It's I don't want to call it a smartphone. It's a new camera. It's pretty neat, by the way. Let me show you this. Show you what I'm getting ready to do. I'm going to take a clip from here. There you go. I'm going to take a clip from here and show it later on. So right now, oh, this is a cool view. Oh, that's really neat. So we're going to have all sorts of fun this year on Good Morning Batavia. Good Morning Batavia, as you remember, was written by myself at Genesee Community College, and it started out as a college radio show. And now we moved over to the internet. So later on down the road, since we know we have a long season, August to February, we're going to try to get some interviews set up, talk to people, see who wants to be part of it. And even if they're not part of it, I'm still going to do it. Remember, this is nothing more than a weekly blog also. So half hour a week, that's pretty good. And I have all sorts of videotapes saved of it. So things are doing pretty well here at 332 West Main Street, Batavia, New York. What I want to do is move starting in February. So I want to get my taxes, and then I think I'm going to move to a one-bedroom apartment and more centrally located right near Pizza Hut and Vine Street. So we'll see what happens there. Well, anyways, I'm getting ready to run over to the monitor. We're going to switch things over. We're going to check out the weather. Then we're going to do some live traffic, and then we're going to continue with Good Morning Batavia. You're watching Good Morning Batavia, and I'm your host, Jason Reese.
I like it.
All right, let's switch over to the weather quickly. See what's happening here in Batavia, New York. And there we have it. Let's see where we're at right now. We use weather.com for our live up-to-date weather. Been using it since 2014. A few minutes, we're going to do a live traffic update. And there we are. There's Batavia right there. So as you can tell, so this has to be reset though. This says 7:32. I didn't reset it. Radio. Go to the 5-day forecast in a few seconds. (10:12 a.m.) You're watching Good Morning Batavia. I'm your host, Jason Reese. Got to clean off my screen. Okay. And we'll save that. All right. There we are. 9:56, so it's a little closer. Looks like every 15 minutes. Sunny, 67 for the high. We're going to switch over to the 5-day forecast. As soon as this thing's set. That's what it has to do. Yeah, there's something wrong here. We need to find out what's going on here. Interesting. This thing should be on. I'll worry about this later then. So we're going to switch over to the window, do some live traffic. A few seconds. I'm sort of lost at what's going on here. The truth about it. And there it is. There we go. Much better. Anyways, let's switch over to the window at 10:25, if possible. Get to see a little live traffic from Batavia, New York. And there you have it. Live traffic from Batavia, New York. Heading west toward Buffalo. Going that way. Heading east that way is headed toward Leroy, New York. If you go northeast, you'll go to Rochester. Go to southwest, you go to Buffalo. Beautiful day here. What a great way to start season 4 of Good Morning Batavia. Can't really complain myself, to tell the truth about it. Gorgeous out, and maybe this is an omen for things to come for the rest of the year. And remember, we're going through August, September, October, November, December, January, February, and you know how the weather changes around here. So there you have it. Live traffic brought to you by Jason Reese Media and Good Morning Batavia. And the Jan Dirks years. Look for that coming out on DVD in September. And there you have it. Live traffic brought to you by Good Morning Batavia. Go back to the desk and talk about upcoming things. So in September, we have the bill season that starts. October, Halloween, November, Thanksgiving, December, Christmas, New Year's Eve, January, New Year's Day. So we stay busy here at Good Morning Batavia. But as usual, we have to find a way to look at that much better. Much better. That's pretty cool. Anyways, we need to find a way to get better production, which is what I'm going to work on, which all takes money. Something I don't have right now, but still, it's just a matter of time, and I think I'll be all right. I need a different computer. I need two computers, actually. I think I'm going to get another Chromebook, one of these things here, and then I'm going to get another desktop. So in a few seconds, I'm going to run back over. We're going to finish up with show you a commercial I made earlier, 9 minutes ago. So we'll do this in a few minutes. And look at that. Much better. Look at that. All right, Jason Reese. Way to go, buddy. Well, I'm enjoying doing Good Morning Batavia. This is actually fun. So I'm going to go online and find people who have like smartphones, and looks like I got to find the younger generation, because today's older generation are, I don't even know what to say. They're not very interested in too much at all, it seems like, except for me. I love doing this. Go up to Genesee Community College, go to the YMCA, see if I can recruit people, go online and start doing things. So that's what I have planned. Exercising, I'm going to start doing some exercises pretty soon. Probably starting in September. I'm going to do light calisthenics in the morning and afternoon. Push-ups, jumping jacks, sit-ups. Change my diet. I don't eat as much. And as I said earlier, my blood sugar has dropped down to 114. So this goes all the way back to 2014 when I had Mrs. Bish. Shelly Bish was my first, what do they call them there? Primary care physician. And I feel really good. So I just got to a better diet, a little more exercise. You know, I'm 55 years old. I'm not getting any younger. But still, I have to take care of myself and watch what I do, watch the partying, watch the adult entertainment, as I like to say. Be careful. And you can still have fun going in my older age. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. I sent some emails to Pavilion Central, and I'm trying to find some information about from 1960, from about 1970 to 1967, looking for some hard copy documents about Edward Williams, Adela Williams, where I came from, who my parents are. So I'll keep you informed on that. Next week, it's just another episode of Good Morning Batavia, and we're just going to relax a little. And hopefully, like I said, I got to switch the room around. I'm going to hang up my speakers so we can get better sound. And all sorts of neat little things are going to take place here on this weekly blog called Good Morning Batavia. So we're going to finish up Good Morning Batavia. I'm going to switch over to the monitor, and I'll see you in a few minutes. You're watching Good Morning Batavia, and I'm your host, Jason Reese.
Hey everyone, Jason Reese here, getting ready to help these guys, the young at the David Down Gaming. I'll let you know what happens, and I'll see you later on. Goodbye. Well, I guess the show's tomorrow ready to start. One thing I noticed about nowadays, they have more smartphones than they have pots. There is no marijuana anywhere in this place. Well, I guess it's just the 1970s. So, here's the thing about the youngest generation. Oh, yeah! Woo! Oh, shit! Oh, this is going to be great.
Oh, that was pretty cool. Wow, that was fast. It's 10:30 already. So how do you like that? So we'll watch the headlines. President Trump on vacation, NFL Hall of Fame weekend. And it's Good Morning Batavia, and I am your host, Jason Reese. Well, that was quick. How do you like that? Boy, oh boy. Anyways, we're going to say goodbye. Face the Nation's on, and I'll have this up later on, do some editing, so you can see it in its entirety. Anyways, for Good Morning Batavia, I'm your host, Jason Reese. I will see you next week. Do that later. I think I'm off the air. All righty. Jason.
Alrighty.
And that's it for Good Morning Batavia for today. Join me next week for another exciting episode of Good Morning Batavia. For Good Morning Batavia, I'm your host, Jason Reese. See you next week.
And that's it for Good Morning Batavia for today. Join me next week for another exciting episode of Good Morning Batavia. For Good Morning Batavia, I'm your host, Jason Reese. See you next week. And that's it for Good Morning Batavia for today. Join me next week for another exciting episode of Good Morning Batavia. For Good Morning Batavia, I'm your host, Jason Reese. See you next week. And that's it for Good Morning Batavia for today. Join me next week for another exciting episode of Good Morning Batavia. For Good Morning Batavia, I'm your host, Jason Reese. See you next week.
That sounds good.
To Ukraine. I encourage the President and the administration to take a look at those steps. I know they are doing so through deliberate, careful National Security Council meetings.
And you support, do you think there'll be a decision on that with respect to arming the Ukrainian?
I hope so, John. And I hope there's other steps that we can take to try to strengthen NATO's defenses against Russia. For instance, Russia is conducting a major military exercise on their western border, on NATO's eastern border. I've long supported the efforts to send more of our troops up to Eastern Europe to try to increase the permanent presence there, and to make it clear to Russia that we'll stand by all of our NATO allies. They can't take steps that will intimidate or interfere with NATO's member countries.
Another thing the administration, the President, and the Defense Department are looking into is the situation in Afghanistan. I want to ask you a couple of questions that the President appears to be asking, which is, first of all, after 16 years, why is it still in the U.S. national interest to be involved in Afghanistan, where you served and fought?
John, Afghanistan is the place from which we were attacked 16 years ago next month. It's the one place where we successfully ejected Al-Qaeda from. Today, though, it's still, you still see a resurgent threat from the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, but also the Islamic State as well. And we don't want to see what happened in Mosul in 2014 when the Islamic State took over that city, happen in Kandahar, Kabul, or Jalalabad, and let that space become an area from which terrorist extremists can plot and launch attacks against the United States and our citizens again.
Do you agree with the President, who reportedly has said he believes that the U.S. is losing in Afghanistan?
We're making enough progress. In military terms, if you're not winning, sometimes you are losing. We've seen Taliban and associated terrorist organizations make gains in recent years. It's time to stop those gains and roll them back. There's a lot of different techniques to do so, but we cannot allow Afghanistan to once again become an ungoverned country from which terrorist organizations can launch attacks against the United States and our citizens.
You and I, during the campaign, talked about Congress's role in overseeing the President. I wanted to get your thoughts about three things that Congress did before everybody left town. First, there was the vote on sanctions, which the President did not like with respect to Russia. Also in the Senate, you took measures to make sure there were no recess appointments. And finally, there are a couple of bipartisan efforts to make sure that the President can't fire the special counsel. What do you make of all of those actions with respect to, it seems to be Congress is trying to constrain the President?
Well, those are all very different kinds of actions. On the sanctions legislation, I supported that legislation because Russia and China are adversaries, and North Korea is racing towards having a nuclear armed missile that can strike the United States. The recess appointment issue is something that goes back to the Obama administration. I can tell you, as a junior senator, I signed a sign-up roster early this year that was choosing when I was going to be in Washington, D.C. during a recess to preside over a short section of the Senate to ensure that there wasn't a recess appointment. That's simply Congress taking its responsibility seriously to provide advice and consent to all nominations. We did it under the Obama administration. It's happening under the Trump administration as well. Finally, on those two pieces of legislation, I don't see them go very far. The independent counsel statute in the 1970s and 80s and 90s was a disaster. We have an executive branch in which the power of all the departments and all the agencies reports to the single elected member of the president. So those are all very different kinds of actions. But Congress is a co-equal branch of government. I mean, in my opinion, for decades, Congress has ceded too much authority to the executive branch. And we should be exercising our constitutional responsibilities seriously and take all the agencies. Those are all very different kinds of actions. But Congress is a co-equal branch of government. In my opinion, for decades, Congress has ceded too much authority to the executive branch. And we should be exercising our constitutional responsibilities seriously and take all the agencies.
Fix the healthcare problem that in Washington so far Congress has not been able to fix. Wow! There are plans out there for fixing healthcare. So is this a problem of people not finding the right plans, or is this a political problem?
Anyways, here I am for season 4
You know, and a key here.
of Good Morning Batavia. I am your host, Jason Reese, and